Hey. Good morning, everyone. Good morning from the Central Valley of California. It's a little foggy, nothing major. But here we are. We've reached Friday. So, should be a good day. So I use Prism. Had I been using YouTube Studio or YouTube's whatever, it's very weak. And I don't know if everybody uses it. I think people use StreamYards, Prism, YouTube, and maybe there's others out there. I've heard those mentioned. I use Prism. Got cars coming here. Well, we've reached the end of the week. End of the week. And here's what we got. Thank you those who've joined me. Oh, look, somebody's here. I'm gonna be eating my slow run to the red light. What am I gonna do? Race to the red light? I'll beat you to the red light. That's funny. Anyways, we've been organizing our 1990 cards, 80s cards by rookies. I feel good about that. It's moving along pretty well. I'll try to do a video this weekend. Next weekend I will not be around, but I will still bring you some lives in the morning and see what the Caltrans has done today. I'm going to get a little grub. If you don't mind, I'm going to stop in and splurge a little, make it my Friday ritual, I guess, and that cuts back from all the other days. Hey, Bud, thank you, Bud, for joining me. Hey, Jay, you know, Epiphany and I had a conversation about you. I think it was regarding a comment you made. Nothing bad. And it was a comment you made. I don't know if it was it about me throwing away cards or something like that? Is that what it was? We were discussing it, Epiphany and I, you know, Johnny, and I said, well, you know, those cards they kind of just pile up. So we were, you know what? I'm gonna change my mind. I'll just do it when I get to Early Mart. But yeah, Jay. So how you been, Jay? How you been, Bud? How's everyone doing this morning? You know, I'll just hop on the highway. Change my mind. I'll do it when I get down to Early Mart. And we'll go from there. Let everybody go. Don't want to cough. Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're ahead of me on time. My kids, I just roused them out of bed, and my two youngest ones, so wife's still at home, but I'm on my way to work. And so, yeah. Then my father-in-law picks them up, and he drops them off. They start, I think, about 8-ish or something like that. Well, anyways, Jay, as I was coming, I don't know if you heard my comment, I was talking about organizing my rookies. This is something that Johnny and I have gone back and forth. I have a lot of cards. It's not their normal amount of cards. And really, it was heavy into the 80s and 90s, and I ended up picking up a big pile right before the coronavirus thingamajigger happened. So that's why I've been... that's why a lot of videos you'll see just dump out or giveaways or whatever. But yeah, just so I decided to keep two rookies of everybody. If it's like Deion Sanders rookie or a Bo Jackson, well, that's not going to be two. That's going to be, those are higher end cards. But everybody else, like Eric Wetzel or Gary Wayne, dude. Let's go, man. Sky. Hey, Betty. Sky, man. I tell you, sometimes these California drivers are the best drivers on earth, and I mean that sarcastically. I know he's going to go slower on purpose now. Oh, they got rid of the guy's homeless camp here. They got everybody's homeless camp gone. Packed him up. Hi, Jay. Hey, Betty, how are you? Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. And it's Friday, guys. We reached Friday. Thank God Almighty, it's Friday. I wouldn't say it's a long week. I got some grading. I try to go. I woke up. I'm waking up a little bit earlier so I can get out of the house earlier, and I can get a lot done earlier and stuff. Just so I can get to the classroom and be able to grade, get caught up on grades. I promised myself during Christmas break I was going to catch up on grades, and I didn't. Ended up in Walt Disney World. That took about 9 days out of that. Before that, I was doing some projects, and then just other stuff keeps you busy. So look at that. They have pretty much just, and they're working on it. There's going to be an overpass, a new bridge, and everything. Saw you on TV and hurried over to my new MacBook Love. Almost like a remake of 2010, which was the best. Sad card that you insert right into the computer. Oh, SSD card. You know what? My only problem with Apple is you need an Apple account. And I like the feasibility of having IBM. I mean, I grew up on Mac. I used to be a Mac when Steve Jobs was there. I was a huge Mac person. I grew up on MacBooks, Chrome, iMac, first Power Macs, all that stuff. And it was easier, and I was one of the few on Macs. As time went on, my Mac got older, I got rid of it. And then at work, I think I ended up buying an IBM, a Dell, and I've pretty much been using, well, we call them Wintels. They're using the Windows operating system, or now it's a Google operating system, and so much of our world runs on Google. Well, I've had computers last a long time too, cars too. But hey, you know, everybody loves their platform or their individual device or their OS. It's called an OS, the Mac OS. I'm not enamored with it anymore. I used to be enamored with Mac, and not anymore. And I like I said, I like the usability of the Wintel. Well, now it's Google. The operating system is basically Android, I should say. Yeah. But hey, all my kids, my wife, all Apple. All of them are Apple. So how many is that? 2 kids, three daughters. Well, the 5 of them. Yeah. My 3 daughters, my son, and my wife. And they're all Apple. Apple, Mac. I'm not certain if my college daughter right now has a Mac. Yeah, but you know what it is. It's just easy interfacing with most stuff. And Apple, there's a little bit more hoops to it. And I'm like, it's all right. Anyways, what else is going on, Miss Betty? Not as foggy today. You can tell this is our overcast, foggy time of year. And then one day it'll all be gone. Temperature will rise. My daughter, I think, is in, she wants to be a teacher, but I think she wants to be a primary teacher. And I think early ed teacher. So that would be K through 12. My credential is K through 12. So yeah. We don't have fog today. I mean, this is just overcast. When there's fog, there's fog. And it's all locked in. And I think there was a pileup the day I was coming back. That Saturday where I got stuck in Orlando. So later that way afternoon, we got up at 6 and we didn't fly out of there till 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Went to school with Blake Shelton. Is that Sheldon? Shelton? The singer? Yeah, and she's from Oklahoma. I'm not certain what part. Decided to go to stay in Oklahoma. I guess she has 2 boys. I don't. How about you, Jay? How cold is it over there? Are you like in your? You got like 40s and it's snow? Thank you, Betty. Thank you, Betty. So, Betty, yeah, you know, I remember what you wrote me the other day. 30s. Wow. Yeah, that would be what the coat I'm wearing, that would be zipped up, would be what I would, yeah. I have it open because it's not cold enough, but it's a snow coat. And I take it when I go to up in the mountains. We got to get to the mountains to get the snow. Rarely snows down here on the Central Valley floor. It's just very flat, as you can see. It's Central Valley, the Great Central Valley. Remember Betty? You might, but remember the old show? It's an old show. It's a western, kind of like Bonanza, called The Big Valley. That's where I am. I'm in the Big Valley, California. And if you remember that show with Lee Majors, Linda Evans, Barbara Stanwyck, Peter Bragg played Nick Barkley, and Jared Long played Richard Long played Jared Barkley. The Big Valley, that's where I am. I'm in the Big Valley. So when you see that TV show, if you ever catch it, and you see it, think of me, the Big Valley. Yeah, that's where I am. I'm in the Big Valley. I'm not in Stockton, which is about 2.5 miles north of me, but it's the same valley. It's a very long valley. I'm in what we call the Southern San Joaquin Valley. Yeah. I love that show. Wow, you remember watching that as a kid in Los Angeles on Channel 5, KTLA. That's just for reference. Not that you would know, you guys, but I watched that show, and I still watch it. I have actually the first 2 seasons on DVD, and yeah. Oh, High Chaparral. That one I used to catch on a couple channels out here. That one was on when I was a baby, but I didn't catch it till maybe the last 10 years. I ran across it, and I was like, oh, this is a pretty cool show. High Chaparral. You know what? I don't know if you've seen the new one. I don't know if you watched any new stuff. The Virginian, yes. Bass Reeves, U.S. Marshal. It's on Paramount Plus. That's a good one. That's made by the guy that made Yellowstone. Bass Reeves. He's an African-American U.S. Marshal. It might have been one of the first ones. And the guy, what's his name? I'm blanking out. The guy made Yellowstone, and he made a bunch of series. He's like a real huge demand for TV writing and producing TV shows right now. The guy that made Yellowstone. But Bass Reeves is one of his shows, and then he made 1883, and then there was another. Well, he made a bunch of them. They're all jump-offs of Yellowstone with Kevin Costner, which is I love the series. Saw the first 4 seasons. Then I got rid of cable to save money, or Dish, and I couldn't catch it anymore. And then I thought they'd go streaming with it, but they haven't streamed season 5 or 6. So I'm still stuck on 4. Yeah, Bass Reeves. I recommend that. Recommend it, Betty, if you haven't seen it. Bass Reeves. Or even some of the stuff on Disney, like The Mandalorian. Remember Carl Weathers from Rocky? You know, the great. What was the great line he had in Rocky 3? There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. He tells Rocky. Bat Masterson and Lone Ranger. You know what? I've caught those on reruns. Back in the 80s, I caught them all on reruns. Yeah, and there used to be like MeTV does that. MeTV does that on Saturdays. It's called like Western Roundup. The Gene Aubry Show. Oh, I'm not familiar with that show at all. And I know a lot of the older show, black and white, because I used to watch Bonanza. Ha! Yeah, I love that show. Wagon Train is good too. They kept switching the Wagon Master because I think the guy died. So they had to switch it to the other guy. Chip Hill died and they switched it to another Wagon Master. And then the guy from Emergency, Fuller, can't think of his first name. Fuller. Cooper. He played Cooper on Wagon Train. Yeah, Coop. I call him Coop. And but then he was a surgeon on Emergency. Growing up, my shows were like Knight Rider, Chips. Oh man, yeah, every boy wanted to be Chip. Ponce John, and Emergency, Airwolf. Battlestar Galactic, obviously, the original. There's tons of shows. You know, growing up and being in college, the shows were what? Friends, you know, Seinfeld, Married with Children, blah, blah, blah. I used to watch a lot of Dallas. I watched the whole opera, teleopera there. Dallas, Dynasty. Never got into Knots Landing. That was like in California, and that was a spinoff from the Dallas crew. I'm in Pixie, folks. I don't know if you noticed the transition there. I am in Pixie, California. You can see the water tower right there. Good old Pixie, California. Matt Dillon. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right. You have a good memory. He was 30 minutes. The first ones were short. I remember watching a few and caught them on rerun. You know who has all these shows that you're talking about? I don't know if you ever watched, but here's a tip for all of you guys out there. Not MeTV, but Pluto TV. You get free TV, and there's also Charge TV. So you can pop up your computer and you can open up to Charge or Pluto, all free, all internet-based. It's like, and then Pluto has hundreds of channels, sports channels, news channels. Unfortunately, they got a lot of that alternative news, you know, the Trump stuff, which may not be maybe a little skewed on the news, but you can find whatever you want. Everybody's got their own like and their own loves there. It's called Pluto TV, and there's also Charge TV. Charge TV, they run like marathons. You'll see Chips, you'll see Dynasty, not Dynasty, beg your pardon. What's that guy? Rockford Files, Knight Rider. Say they'll run 3 or 4 episodes and then switch to another show. Or on a weekend they'll run the whole marathon on this one particular show. So that's Charge TV, just the way it is. Charge, like charge up a hill, charge, you know. And then Pluto TV. So I'm giving those guys a shout out and a plug. But my brother, who's in North Carolina, it was a town, and it was a town of American families at one time. But 10 miles west of my school, which I'm about to get off in about 2-3 miles here, is a town called Allensworth. Google that. Allensworth State Historic Park. So Mr. Colonel Allensworth, who was a colonel in the Army, African American gentleman, I think he might have even been a doctor, but don't quote me on that. He set up the first all African American town. The people, and then the railroad was connecting, so the railroad was a main, like an industry kind of thing. When the railroad kind of bypassed, didn't have a stop in Allensworth anymore, the town kind of died. The state of California, the last people living there were they were holdovers, and eventually the state of California bought it and then has been refurbishing it. And it's a state historic park called Allensworth. Excuse me, and it was set up for African American folks. That's who lived there. So you'll see right here on the signs as I get off the highway here, it'll say Allensworth State Park, Allensworth State Park. I've been there twice. I haven't been there recently, and there's been a lot of upgrades, a lot of reconstructions and restoration of buildings. Here's Early Mart, here's Alpal. So near Alpal, going that way, is State Park Allensworth. That was one of the things I wanted to do, take the kids there, like a short field trip down the road. But figure this one, guys, it is more expensive to take our school buses than to get a private bus, a charter. It's cheaper. I'm like, how can that be? I mean, we got the guy on the clock, and we have our own buses, our own fuel. Why don't we just drive over 10 minutes, come back a couple hours later? So there it is right there. State Historic Park, Allensworth. 11 miles. And there's the train. All right, guys. Well, we are here. You know what I forgot to do is when I get in the car, and I'm doing videos like this with my cell phone, I forgot to put it on airplane mode, so that way nobody can. But if I put it on airplane mode, I don't think I'll be able to get internet, and I won't be able to talk to you lovely folks. Well, guys, I'm about to wrap up here. I made it into town. I'm gonna grab me something to eat real quick. There's our Sheriff's Department. Tulare County Sheriffs. Hey, undrafted player. Thank you for joining me. Oh, hey, thank you for showing up. And you guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. And Betty, I was gonna mention one more thing before I leave, and Jay. And my live hours were starting to kind of dip on me. And I started, doing lives on the way to work, and it's starting to pick. But, I put a lot of effort into making videos every day. All right, guys, thank you for watching. CV out. Have a good day. Have a great weekend. I'll see you guys Monday on the road again. CV out. Don't forget, pack a day, pack a day, pack a day.